Welcome back, guys. Sorry, it has been a little while. It's been it's been one of those weeks with school, and I am taking max credits senior year last semester, so it's been quite a workload. But yeah, Overwatch League is coming back. Tomorrow is the start of stage number two. Super excited for that. But what we're going to do in this video is talk about some of the news. It's going to be a weekly news wrap up. If you have missed some of the acquisitions and other things that have been going on this week, so going to keep it pretty concise. I'm going to say a couple of opinions, but that'll be it. So as you can see, um, I'm on the Upcomer website, and I have an Upcomer app on my phone as well. This is not sponsored. I know they do sponsor some Overwatch people, but I do like their website a lot. As you can see, you can see schedules, you can see standings, you can have like your favorite teams, so you are notified if they go live, and you can see how they're doing if you can't watch. Um, but you can also turn spoilers off. So if you don't want to watch it, if you don't want to know what happens and you want to watch it later, you can do that too. You can hide the scores, and you can also talk to the community. As you can see, there's some posts over here. So I think it's a really nice website, honestly. So if you want to get involved with the community a little bit and keep up to date on some stuff, I'd recommend Upcomer. All right, so we're gonna run through the news. There was actually a bunch of stuff that happened. We had some trades. We're gonna start with DeFran. He has retired. This was like 5 days ago. He has retired from Overwatch League. He is now going to be a full-time streamer once more. And on one hand, this makes me very sad. As you guys know, I've loved DeFran for a long time. I think he's great as a player and entertainer, and I think when he started in Overwatch, DeFran wasn't the greatest person, but I think he's grown a lot as just a man in general, and I think he is a good dude now. Um, so it was great to see him for his stage. I would have liked to see him complete the year. I knew he would be 1 year at max, because of all the mental um, stress that Overwatch League induces. I figured he wouldn't stay along long term. I was hoping for a full season. I was hoping to see him on some DPS, other than just the, of course, tank DPS and Zarya. So, but I'm also glad that he made it through. Nothing bad happened. He didn't throw. He didn't do anything to himself because of mental issues. And he realized that it's like, okay, we did it for a stage, and if he had done more, his mental composure might have started to slip. So I can respect it, and yeah, I guess it's the don't be sad that it's over, just be happy that it happened thing. That's pretty much what I get from that. So yeah, F's F's in the chat for DeFran as a Overwatch League player, but he is still a streamer and a very good one at that. So um, if you got some time and you're bored and want to watch some high level Overwatch gameplay, there you go. Check out his stream. And then we'll stay on the topic of the rain for a little bit because, as you can see here, San Francisco has traded Baby Bay to the Atlanta Rain. So I think this was a move that made a lot of sense. San Francisco Shock, it has, even after trading Baby Bay, they still have like way too much DPS. They have four on the roster now instead of five. And for Atlanta, it's a little interesting. Of course, because of DeFran retiring, you replace him with Baby Bay, who plays similar heroes. They both play the Tracer, the Widow. Well, Baby Bay was never really much of a Tracer. He's more of a Widow specialist, which is a little interesting because Enlayer, who is another DPS for Atlanta, is a Widow specialist as well, and like Tracer. So I don't know exactly how much Baby Bay will play. I assume he will at least be switching in and out with Nalair. So yeah, the return of Baby Bay to stage. So that's pretty cool. Um, it was not for another player. It was just for money. So San Francisco makes some money back, which is nice for them, and Atlanta acquires another solid DPS player. Um, there were a couple other trades. The biggest one, or I should say acquisitions. Boston Uprising have signed Persia, and then they also traded Note. So this was the biggest story for me. They did sign Persia, who, as you can see, is a flex support, so Zen player, which is interesting because they have Aim God, he is a god. So I don't know if this bodes poorly for Aim God because he's been popping off. Maybe Boston is known for getting players in there pretty cheap, then the players pop off, then Boston sells said player to another team for a large amount of money, and then that's how they make their money, and they replace that player with another lower cost guy who then steps in and does a good job. And then, of course, like I said, I don't see a whole lot coming out of that unless they trade Aim God. I don't see Persia coming in and playing much, if at all. So we'll see. Um, and also, like I said before, RCK has been traded from the Dallas Fuel to the Boston Uprising for a note. So they swapped flex tank players, and when I saw this, my eyes they popped. I was like, really? Um, it's a little bit of a head scratcher for because RCK was fitting in pretty well with Dallas. He's also playing a very good Sombra. This you know what this tells me because Note can't really play Sombra at all. He's a diva. Um, what this tells me is Dallas either doesn't like Sombra goats or they think that goats will pretty much be gone, so they're not worried about that, or they have somebody else that they're thinking about for the like maybe they'll switch. What they could possibly do is switch Note have play on the Zarya, and then their Zarya player AKM he plays Sombra because his Sombra has been pretty good as well when we've seen it. Um, so maybe I don't know. If I had to bet, I would think that they think that goats won't be around for much longer because RCK played a very good diva as well. I'd say in terms of a goats meta, I think RCK and Note are about equal. Um, but if it's dive or if it's just like Winston, diva, I think Note is better in that meta. I mean, I think most people would agree he's the best Western diva in the world. Um, I mean, when you think about other ones, you got like Cool Matt. He was on the World Cup team a couple years ago. There's McGravy, a couple others like that, and I don't see any of them stacking up to Note. I legitimately think Note is a top 5 diva in the entire league. So honestly, I like this move for Dallas. It's a little strange because, like I said, RCK seemed to fit in pretty well, but Note is reunited with Jane, who is his coach in Canada um, for the World Cup. So maybe that's part of it. Maybe they just want to synergize them a little bit more. And it is an English speaker for an English speaker. But maybe for Boston, this is probably a money saving move partially. I'm not positive. That's more of a guess. But I believe that they also wanted to pick up RCK because he is European, just like I mean he's not British, um, like Fusions is, but they are both European, so maybe they think that they'll have better synergy. Who knows? Only time will tell. But like I said, I don't think it's a terrible deal for both teams. But if I had to say one who I'd give the edge to, I think this is a better move for Dallas. Because like I said, I'm really high on Note as a player and as a teammate as well. So, side note, Boston has now everyone from their season one roster, or the beginning, the OG season one roster, because they picked up Aim God halfway through. The original starters from stage one of last year, they're all gone except for Calyx. So, if I'm Calyx, I've I might have my suitcase out from the closet on the floor somewhere. Because we've seen Boston move on from a lot of places. And staying on the topic of Dallas Fuel, Coco has retired. They did not fire him. He left of his own accord, as you can see right there, citing stress and mental health issues. I watched the video, and because Dallas made like a little tribute video to him where he talked about like why he left and everything. And he said part of it, yeah, is a lot of stress because Overwatch League is super stressful. You can see he's got like some gray. He's got like grays now on the sides. Um, he's got some gray hairs, which is crazy because he did not coming into the league. Um, but he also wanted to go back home. He didn't. He wasn't a big fan of the weather and everything in Southern California, and he also said that he had fallen out of love with Overwatch a little bit. And I think we've been starting to see this more and more. A lot of like the OG Overwatch guys, like guys that were on like the really good teams from the start of like a year before Overwatch League. Um, a lot of them have moved on. Obviously there's some who haven't. Like Dallas still has Taimu. You still have like Surefour. Um, Effect. A lot of people, Ryu Jaehong, who have been playing for such a long time and are still going at it. But for Coco, it seems like he's just kind of he's reached the end of his Overwatch days. Last season, he kind of retired as a player. Now he's retiring as a coach. He said he is considering full time streaming. So I'd probably check him out if he did. It'd be interesting. Coco's interesting because he's always such like a he's like a flatline guy. He doesn't get too like excited. He was always like for Envious, he was always just like a steady, I don't want to say emotionless, but just like a constant, not too hot, not too low presence. And I think that was really good for their team, especially when they had players who are like hot and cold, or like can really fluctuate in terms of like attitude and play with like Taimu and Effect. Um, so I think that I mean it's a little sad seeing another OG leave the game, but I think Coco will do fine with whatever he decides to pursue next. Uh, those were pretty much the moves, like people leaving or getting traded or moving around. One other thing was Batiste has arrived in competitive play. I played a bit of Overwatch recently on PC, and he's in like every single comp game. People have really been playing him a lot already. So I've seen some really new plays, but also seen some good plays. So um, yeah, the reign of another support has come, and starting tomorrow, we're gonna see if he gets played in Overwatch League. I think we probably will see him on a couple maps. Yeah, we'll see. Um, these are the You can see some of the matchups that are gonna be tomorrow over here. But yeah, that's what I'll be covering tomorrow with the return of the predictions. And then after this, I'm also going to make a video doing my pre-week 2 power rankings, and I'm not going to split that one up. I'm just going to run through everybody in one. Um, so yeah, that was some of the news around the league. That's right. Dallas has already signed somebody to replace Coco because he was one of the assistant coaches, and he was like the tanks coach. Because they have Jane for the supports. They have, I don't remember his name, but their other assistant coach is for the DPS, and they had Coco. They have hired Damon, I believe his name is. He's the former head coach of Paris Eternal, and he's going to be their new tanks guy. Um, so yeah, we'll see how he works with Mickey, um, now Note, and OGE. Um, Jane also said on his stream that Dallas were going to be making some other moves. We did see the new coach acquired after that, but I think there's going to be a couple more because he said that those moves will make the Note move make sense. So first thing that came to my mind was like, wait, are they gonna? I thought of like some of Note's like teammates from like Canada. I was like, wait, are they gonna yank Surefour from the Gladiators? And I got scared, but I don't think that'll happen. We'll see. But yeah, so that was some of the news around the league. Like I said, we had some decent action. This was a while ago, but Arc has now landed on Washington. I'm sure you guys all know that. Um, I I bet he'll be starting a lot early on. I don't know if we'll see Fazix much, if at all, which is a little sad. But yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. Excited to get back to watching some Overwatch League tomorrow. And that is it for news of the week. Let me know if you liked the video. I know that it's hard for some people to get news about Overwatch, and well, this was a little bit late for some of the news, like the Defran news and other things. I think it is good to at least have it there, so if people are wondering, oh man, I kind of tuned out Overwatch League because I knew it was on break for a while. Anything interesting happen? There were definitely a couple interesting things happen. So that is going to be it for the video. Like I said, let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching. Tune in for the power ranking videos and the predictions. And thanks for watching. Have a great day.